You've joined us on Starting Up. Now, this one is an invention that's really changed the way we listen to music. I'm talking about the MP3 format, without a doubt, something that has revolutionized the music industry. And so we decided to catch up with its inventor. Well, that's Karlheinz Brandenberg. Here he is in an exclusive chat with our very own Sudhir Syal.
Popularly referred to as the father of the MP3 player, Karlheinz Brandenberg is the co-inventor of the MP3 music format and is the director of the Fraunhofer Institute for Digital Media Technology. Brandenberg has dedicated over 15 years of his life to the development of the MP3 audio format, a lifetime of research which has seen him gain over 100 patents and multiple awards. We caught up with Brandenberg and started the interview by asking him about the early evolution of the MP3 format.
As a PhD student, you are always dreaming, but what became of this exceeded the wildest dreams, I have to say. It was my thesis advisor who had the idea to compress music so it would fit on a phone line. And it took then quite a long time to work on the basics, to find new ways how to do it, and especially to find ways that even the golden ears in the music industry would be satisfied, would say, yo, this is good enough quality.
Right. So I understand years of work have gone into the MP3 technology, but if you could just explain to our viewers what the secret sauce, as they say, in technology was, which led to you all finding a way to compress wave to almost 10 times less.
In fact, there's a basic idea behind it, which is not that secret. In fact, others found the same idea at the same time. That was to really separate the music into its content at different frequencies and then to use the working of our ears. It's called masking, to find out how to transmit these different parts.
Sure. Karlheinz, it's almost studying the functionality of the human ear as much as it is studying the music, right?
Exactly, yes.
So it was work on both fields.
Yeah.
Would you say that was what separated you from some of the other work that was going on?
Of course, in earlier times, yes. It was not just my work which used this psychoacoustics, but there were a number of colleagues. Who had the same basic ideas. So I not claim the idea of perceptual audio coding, but I claim we found a way to make this very efficient and very flexible to really adapt to both the music and the properties of the human auditory system.
As with any technology, once the technology is released, what happens is that there are numerous other types of technologies which are either competing or which are corollary, and it takes a while before one becomes the industry standard as opposed to another. And at your point, MP3 was actually competing with Philips. So take us through that story and how MP3 actually emerged as a standard technology, at least in the digital space.
In fact, in the early times, all the major companies decided for Philips or the layer 2 format. And it looked like for us there would be only niche markets left. And then we decided, we got some hint, look, the next big thing is this called internet. So we decided...
They call it the cloud today.
Yeah. And I think it was in 1994 that we had an internal meeting where we said we have a window of opportunity to make this MPEG audio layer 3, we didn't call it MP3 yet, the internet audio standard. And
was internet audio big then? Was internet audio anywhere?
No, it was just starting. That's why we said we would have a chance. And then others came, there was real audio and so on. And we thought we had lost it, but we made it in the end.
And there's a very interesting story about how the MP3 encoder was actually trespassed and stolen, which actually became one of the reasons why the technology actually grew so quickly. Take us through how that really happened.
That was some student from Australia using a stolen credit card number, so I call him a criminal, to buy the software, which cost a couple of $100s at that time. And then he just modified the user interface, put all that with our encoding kernel into archive, put that onto some FTP site with saying, this is freeware, thanks to Fraunhofer. Once we heard about it, and we heard about it within days, people asked us, oh, did you release it as freeware now? No, we didn't. Okay. So we used all kinds of legal action to find him, and we did finally. Okay. But of course, the genius was out of the bottle. Okay. It was available.
And the whole world was converting Wave to MP3 by then.
And not the whole world, but more people. Okay. And in fact, we soon tried to change our business models and work with companies that were legal ways.
Okay. So Brandenberg, many years were spent on the MP3 technology, right? Almost more than a decade. And then, like poof, all of it became free at some level, right? So, as an innovator, how did that make you feel?
Oh, I think it makes me feel very proud, and everybody else as well. And MP3 is still a very good business for Fraunhofer. We get lots of royalty from patent licensing. But I still remember the feeling when, I think it was in Hong Kong, I first went along a electronics store and saw 30 different brands and types of devices of MP3 players, and I said, okay, now we've done it.
One of the flip sides of what happened with the MP3 player and the MP3 format was rampant piracy, right? So piracy has become the standard on the web, and a lot of questions. Napster was a company which sort of stimulated that at some level. And MP3 is sort of viralized music on the web, and music industry has lost out on a lot of money thanks to the MP3 format at some level. What are your views on this, and how do you see this ever being resolved?
Okay, I finally see things going on, and in fact, I've for more than 10 years now told the music industry, look, don't look back, look what will be in the future and find the new business models. Right. Of course, technology does change business models. That has been happening over and over again. Sure. And we tried to help them. We tried to make proposals. We helped in doing a standard encryption scheme, which then they didn't want. Okay. So there was a Secure Digital Music Initiative. I think they just had a hard time learning that, yes, the world was changing. Just today in the morning, I read some news that in the US, finally, first, music selling is up again, and second, more than half of it is compressed format music. Sure. Sure. So
how do you see this evolving? You see this evolving by music labels selling music on the web?
Yeah, in different ways. Okay. I think the time is over for a single business model. Okay. We have the services where you just listen to cloud and get streaming. You have the services where you buy either single tracks or whole albums and so on. There's a number of different business models, and I think not all, but many of them will survive.
Okay, great. So, Mr. Brandenberg, after the MP3 player, you're very active at the Fraunhofer Institute. What keeps you busy? What are you working on now? What is in the future?
Oh, all this signal analysis, finding music, searching, finding similarities, all this on one hand, and then a whole new technology which came from Delft Technical University to start with, as a basic research, which gives you much better illusion of being somewhere else, acoustically. Nice. There's a trademark Iosono, and it's usually called wave field synthesis. Okay. That's the original.
So it gives you the perception of being somewhere else within a stadium.
Yeah, for example, yeah.
Okay. Just closing out this interview, you're an innovator and you've created an innovation which has changed the world in many ways. What is your advice to other innovators watching this program who are busy in their labs? What is the advice from the co-inventor of the MP3 format?
There's one advice, which I see a lot of young people first going the right direction, and that is work with other people, not against them. This is always better than just to try to do everything on your own. So work with other people.
Mr. Brandenberg, it's been a pleasure having you on the show. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.